us hand to the find the way I read this full English. 2 Kings chapter 7. How about it? Release it. If you are there, can you please read for me quickly? From verse 1.
Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
But Elijah said, hear the word of the Lord. Thus says the Lord, tomorrow about this time a measure of fine meal shall be sold for a shekel, and 2 measures of barley for a shekel at the gate of Samaria. Then the captain on whose hand the king leaned said to the man of God, if the Lord himself should make windows in heaven, would these things be?
Check that one.
For he said, you shall see it with your own eyes, but you shall not eat of it. Now there were 4 men who were lepers at the entrance to the gate, and they said to one another, why do we sit here till we die? If we say, let us enter the city, the firmament is in the city, and we shall die there. And if we sit here, we die also. So now come, let us go over to the camp of the Syrians. If they spare our lives, we shall live, and if they kill us, we shall die. So they arose at twilight to go to the camp of the Syrians. But one day, when they came to the edge of the camp of the Syrians, behold, there was no one there, for the Lord has made the army of the Syrians hear the sound of chariots and of horses, the sound of a great army, so that they should say to one another, behold, the king of Israel has hired against us the king of the Hittites and the kings of Egypt to come upon us. So they fled away in the light and pursued their tents, their horses, and their asses, leaving the camp as it was, and fled for their lives. Verse 8, and when these lepers came to the edge of the camp, they went into a tent and ate and drank, and they carried off silver and gold and clothing, and went and hid them. Then they came back and entered another tent and carried off things from it and went and hid them. And then they said one to another, if we are not doing right thing, this day is a day of good news. If we are silent and wait until the morning light, punishment will overtake us. Now therefore come, let us go and tell the king's household.
Amen. Hallelujah. This thing is recording in my spirit. The burden that the Lord dropped in my spirit, and I want us to share in that body. Now, we all know about the story of farmer when there's a great farmer in the city. So 4 lepers, if you know what it means to be a leper at that time, they will dress and put bell on their waist. So if they are coming, the bell will be ringing so that people are far off will know that lepers are coming, so that you can avoid them. So these people, they were not accepted in the city. They were somewhere. When Elijah the prophet prophesied, I don't want to go through what happened before the prophecy, but he prophesied that by this time tomorrow, that there will be plenty. Now it is very uncommon for him to make such a statement in a situation where Israel are dying of hunger. Now, the hunger there is to the point that these people are eating dung fish. Amen. They buy it for 5 shekels and they eat it. It came to the point where 2 women decided to cook their children to eat. That's the level of hunger that was in that society. When Elijah came all of a sudden and said that by this time tomorrow there will be plenty. It's practically impossible judging from human perspective, but Elijah has said it. Now there is something about a prophecy. When a prophecy is being proclaimed, the spirit went forth, hanging on air, waiting for a head that will align properly to fulfill that prophecy. That's how people fulfill negative prophecies. So the fact that they spoke, you are in a meeting and they prophesy, doesn't mean that it will come to pass in your life if you don't align to make it come to pass. That's a responsibility given to you as an individual in order to ensure that that which is spoken concerning your life will eventually come to pass. If you don't engage in that responsibility, it becomes a very serious problem, and a time will come, it will look as if God did not speak. Now a prophecy was made. The entire Israel were there when that prophecy was made, but none could align to carry the spirit of the prophecy. Only 4 lepers. Now the Bible said 4 lepers that were somewhere suddenly got angry and said, If we sit, we still will die. If we decide to sit here, we will die. The end point is death. If we decide to go to the city, the end point will still be death because there is hunger there. If we go to the enemies, they have food, but they are the best option now. Let's go and meet our enemies. If they spare us, we will eat food. But if they don't, let's die honorably. Do you understand this? They choose a better way to die. Unknown to them that what was moving them was the spirit of prophecy that Elijah has proclaimed. So they were just discussing. Here is dead. City is dead. There is our enemy and they still have food. So if we remain here, we will die. If we enter the city, we are going to still die. If we go to our enemies, they will either kill us or spare us. Why not? Let us now go the direction where there is food. At least if they spare us, we have hope. Now, the Bible now said, when they moved, the enemies that camped suddenly started hearing sounds. What happened is that the moment they moved, the Lord himself that made that prophecy through Elijah magnified their footsteps. And it became like that of chariots. Now, these are 4 lepers walking. But their footstep has been magnified. Do you know why? Because they stepped out. If they were there, nothing happens. Miracles start the moment you decide and you start taking action. If you sit one place and you say, hey, nothing happens until you take the bull by the horn, you step out. That's when you begin to see something. If you say you have a healing anointing and you are seeing a sick person, you are standing saying in your heart, in the name of Jesus, be healed. Nothing happens until that faith propels you to move with boldness and say, be healed. You might fail 3 times. If you continue, you'll be shocked what will begin to happen. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, this is what happened to 4 lepers. They moved. These guys don't have fingers. They were incomplete people. But their footsteps were magnified. To the point that the enemy said, Israel has went and chartered and hired armies from different cities to come and fight them. And do you know what? They abandoned all their food, all their goods, and they took off. Now, this is God working in order to ensure that what Elijah spoke will definitely do what? Come to pass. But it took 4 men to align. And those men were lepers. So it doesn't matter who you are. If you can align properly, God can use you to perform His wonders. They may say you don't know how to speak English. You are a boy, you are a foolish girl, you are this, you are that. Just align. Do you know the woman that later became the grandmother of Jesus was her name? Rahab. Until today, anytime you see her in the scripture, they call her Rahab the harlot. Yet, she was the one that bring deliverance to the spies that came to visit. Amen. She was the one that God used. She understood it. And she preserved God's people. She preserved them. And before you know it, she became a grandmother to the master. So it doesn't matter what they have called you. It doesn't matter where you came from. It doesn't matter your family background. What matters is your ability to understand what the Lord is saying at the moment and you taking action. Don't sit back and say, because I've heard so many people say that Jesus has paid for everything. So if it's for you, it will come. If it's not for you, it will not come. Have you not heard people that say Jesus spoke to them that they will become an engineer? And they did not rise up to go and look for admission. Have they become engineer? You will waste in your room because you did not take action. Anything that the Lord said to you confers on you responsibility. It confers on you responsibility. You have responsibility on your part that you will do, and God will come in order to make sure that that which He said is coming to pass. Now these guys went into the city. The moment they started moving, their legs were magnified. The enemy started hearing sounds of armies. Meanwhile, these are 4 lepers. Now something happened in verse verse 8. So when these lepers came to the uttermost part of the camp, they went into one tent and did eat and drink, carried then silver and gold and raiment, and went and hid it, and came again and entered into another tent, and carried thence also, and went and do what? And hid it. Then they say to one another, we do not well. This is the day of good tidings, and we hold our peace. If we tarry till the morning light, some mischief will come upon us. Now therefore come, that we may go and tell the king's household. Now look at what these people concluded. They said when they came, they saw that there were plenty of foods. They entered and eat, and they fed themselves. They were satisfied. And at a point, they started hiding it. They will go and gather gold, and they will go and hide. They will go and gather silver, and they will go and hide. Just like some of us will gather revelations and we hide. So all we do is revelation. Anywhere you see Rema, you go. Anywhere you see, you go. You become so heavy that your legs cannot be lifted anymore. You no longer know what is evangelism. The Bible says some mischief will come if we stay a little longer. Amen. Suddenly they advise themselves and say, this is a day of great tidings. Our people are killing themselves and eat. They are eating their children. And we are here hiding gold and silver. Hiding gold and silver. He said, let us go and tell the household of the king this good news. That's evangelism. What we are preaching is good news. Let's go and tell what? The household of the king. The good news, there is plenty now. He said, if we carry a little further, some mischief will come upon us. This is the problem of our generation now. When was the last time you see people move out with burden for evangelism? That's why souls are not won. So if we pray today and another prayer meeting is set up in Oka, if you go, the same people that you see in the other meeting, that's the same people that will come for that same meeting. Because what we are doing is rotation. So you see unbelievers that you know, they are still unbelievers. Since you were small, they were unbelievers till now that they have started speaking in tongues. Nothing has changed in their life because we refuse to carry the good news. Reason being, we sat one place, we ate so much rema, we are hiding it that our legs has become too big, too heavy that we can no longer move. So an average evangelist doesn't know what it means to be evangelist anymore. So he saw an apostle do some things, he automatically becomes an apostle. Because it seems this one is the in thing now. See, this one is the in thing. So there is no specificity anymore. These people said, they discovered that what they had received was by mercy. They did not qualify for it. They are outcast. The villagers will now accept them. But suddenly God showed them mercy. They did not deserve it. Do you have faith the day you receive Jesus? There was no faith. One man said the day he received Jesus, that he was chasing a bear like he followed her to finish. That was the day he preached something. There was no faith in him. He was going after a girl. So there was no faith in him. God suddenly showed him mercy. And what you do is that you sit back now and you are drinking it. Oh, Rema. If you check your diary from 1994, Rema. Meanwhile, the next person, your next door neighbor, did not know anything about Jesus. You see the problem. So our generation, we want to be orgas, apostles. So if we can gather some more people and have our own congregation, it's okay for us. We just be telling them things that will make them excited. And people are wasting. Lives are dying. People are wasting everywhere. These people took a decision. I told you earlier before here that great meetings are not the things that change people. No. It's decisions. They say, if we see it, we die. If we decide to go to the village, hunger is there, we will die. Our enemies has food. But they will still kill us. But let's die wisely. Let's die in a wise way. Let's die where there is food. At least let it be recorded that we make attempts. So unfortunately, the moment they took off, power, let me tell you the truth, power is no longer in church. Let me not say no longer. Most times, where the power is in the mission field. The moment you step out, that's when you begin to see the power of God. Be anointed with healing anointing. At best, if fear grips you, you just say, "This sister, we healed in Jesus' name, we healed in Jesus." You are saying it in your heart. Faith does not propel you to take action. It must bring you to that point where you will exercise it. Bible says, faith without work is dead completely. So these people, we are just, have you not noticed that the prodigal son, when he gained his salvation, was not what he was still sitting down negotiating. My father has plenty servants. If I go back, this, nothing happened until he stepped out. The moment he stepped out, the father did not wait for him to come to the house. The father had to walk towards him. That's why I say, I was telling them from the meeting where I come in, that nobody knows the direction where God is. What happens is that if you set your heart to seek Him, He will find you. God finds them. Men don't find you. It is God that will locate you. You can't. Where is it? With what eye will you use to master a spirit? I'm looking for brothers. Where's your brother? It's not here. I'm looking for friends that have been together for some time. Now notice in your family, your sister, that's your favorite sister, that's your favorite brother. You have been together for a very long time. You love them so much. But one day, after 10 years of being together with him, something will suddenly come out. He will behave in a certain way. You'll be like, when did this one start? The thing has been there. It's a dimension. So the reason why you felt it's not there is nothing that will trigger it has come yet. So the day pressure came in a strange way, that thing will manifest. And you'll be like, I thought I've known this guy. Suddenly something happened and you are shocked. And you want to master a spirit. A spirit that you want to master. Suddenly want to master a spirit. And you think, because you gave your life to Christ yesterday and you have ability to speak in tongues for 8 hours, you can now master a spirit that you can't hear him. The only way he talks is by sign. He guides, he speaks, he sends pictures. If you cannot pick those signs and signals, you are not qualified to work with him. Because your work will be a mess. You will not understand his operation. So, an average evangelist has what? He has eaten so much that his legs has become too heavy. He can no longer walk. So, body for evangelism has gone. He has gone completely. In our time, he has gone. All we have is prayer meeting. Wonderful. Which eventually will help you under God. Become a man that God intends you to become. So that you will enter the field. Not so that you go and raise another club of Christians. And you now be exchanging members. Even the big church, we know sometimes what they call evangelism is an exchange of membership. So, I am Anglican today. I decide to be worshiping in Oyedipo's church. They will say they have won a song. They didn't really won it. They just got a new member in their church. We exchange. So maybe if you come here on Sunday, you now hear somebody from Oyedipo coming to join Anglican. It happens every day. The other time we are celebrating here, they were celebrating that a Catholic came to join Anglican. I said, have you not been to their church before? Anglicans are joining too. So what's the essence? What are you celebrating? We are exchanging what? Membership. Meanwhile, that woman you know in your street, selling the nuts, since you were small, She's unbeliever. She's still unbeliever today. And you speak in tongues. You hear people in prayer meetings, and her life has not changed. And you stay around her, you pray in tongues every night for 8 hours. Nothing in you has left because you have not concentrated on her and say, I want this woman to receive Jesus. Revival will not come if we don't reactivate the burden for evangelism. Many people will not hear us. At best, we'll be doing what we are doing in our circle. That's why when I see some of the things we celebrate today, I laugh. You know, sometimes it's as if I'm trying to discourage people from going into power and dimension. I'm not saying it because we don't have power. It's if we want to change this place now, it's available. Just put your hand like this, it comes. Here will scatter. But people don't have life. Life are not built, and it doesn't make sense. It will be a waste of time. Amen. They said to themselves, if we sit, we die. An average Christian now, a young believer growing up, already has a plan. I told you here last week, if God called you, and from the very first day God called you, you already know everything He wants you to do. Who spoke to you, Satan? It's not God. There is no way you can know everything. Even some things you will be entering it with fear. With fear. That's you put one leg there and check. Is it working? Is it working? It's even people around you that will be giving you testimonies that will you will not be saying, God is in this thing. God is in this thing. Before you now step in fully. But I see some people that already have a map for their ministry. They know everything. All the protocols, everything, they know it from beginning to the end. Yeah. Who talks like that? It's not consistent with the scripture. If everybody that God called, they are afraid to start a walk with Him. Because they know what it means. It means to die. All your ambitions will have to be buried before you can amount to anything. So, an average, a young believer, a young politician now growing up, already have a standard of looting. He already planned how to loot the moment he entered. So, a young Christian now, rising up, already has a plan of what to become. You are rising, you are seeing Apostle Arume, you are seeing Joshua Selman, you are seeing Eli Adejo, you are seeing Orobo. These things formed a picture in your mind. So you are pressing into becoming them so that you can be popular too. Even though you claim that's not your ambition, but deep down inside you see it is. The day the light of God will brood in your spirit, you will know you have been in error. That's why I talk like this anytime we gather in this meeting. So that in heaven, God will not hold me accountable. I will say, I tell them what I'm supposed to tell them. You know, I said, if this thing is about popularity, we for don't bust. If it's popularity, if it's fame, there are some testimonies that end in our group, in our WhatsApp group. That's where some testimony ends. It doesn't appear on WhatsApp. The point is that when it came out like that on Facebook, a lot of people will be interested. And you have a lot of strangers that do not want to follow God. Coming here just for to help solve our problem, let's sleep here. So you make a mistake of thinking you are father of many people. Until the day the heartbreak will come. You will die many times before you are there. Many times because you have given your heart away already. So I see young Christians that so as far as you can hold microphone and pray, and people are falling on the ground shedding tears, don't be deceived. Selman said, don't allow people to clap your ministry away. Because people can praise you and praise you out of the will of God. Amen. It's a body. So evangelism is dying. Meanwhile, the essence of revival is so that everybody will know about our Jesus. You will not need to come to If you see 80-year-old woman in the village, what is she know about dimension? Is that what you go and be telling her? Meanwhile, that's what young preachers want to be, as far as you can be saying dimensions. Take a flight in the spirit. Once you know these languages, you think you have arrived. How do you preach to an old woman in the village without using those things? How? So you see confusion. See, we need to go back and say, Lord, you see this thing back. Take it. Me, I'm not interested again. Take it. Take it. Ambition. Everything I want to become. Be a Christian. If you know me early, all I wanted to be is a Christian. I want to be like Abraham. I used to say it. A man that people will know that knows God. And he's not preaching. He's just living a normal life, everyday life. But people can say that this guy is a man of God. Abraham did not prophesy. But God said he warned the other king and was telling him that guy is a prophet. You know why? His life is telling an immortal story. His life was a story that God is telling from heaven. And he did not carry microphone to preach the sermon. He's just living a life. He littered all paths all around the coast. Everywhere he appeared, he raised an altar. And he raised an airport at Mamre. He was standing at that altar at Mamre when immortal beings came and he spotted them. He knew that these ones are immortals. He said, if I have found them before you, what it means, if I really see you, come and eat in my house. Because not everybody will see them. Come and dine in my house. And he entered. That was how his son came. And the day they will bring him into his original ordination, what they demanded for is that same son. To make sure that he died to serve. He died to ambition. He died to everything he wants to become. Until you die like that, you cannot become it. The Bible said, except a corn of wheat falls down and dies, he abided alone. But the moment he dies, he bears more fruit. He rises. That's why when you plant something in the ground, you first of all die. After the dying, you will now be one. You rise again. So check yourself. When you see somebody ministering, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? When will I have opportunity to do the same? If you are sincere, that's the first thing that comes to your mind. It happens to me too many times. This guy don't eat. Oh boy. And that propels many of our prayers. Went on mountain many years ago. That's why I talk like old man. I'm still young. But I know some things sometimes. I told you now that the first thing that pushed me to mountain was the prayer. We went for a meeting, and the pastor said we should pray for deliverance. Now he's going for a meeting. He left us in the morning from 9 a.m. We prayed from 9 till 6 p.m. I and Obianyo. The demon did not do like this, let alone leave it. So we went back to the pastor and said that the deliverance of that girl will take 3 days. Now imagine, it will take 3 days. The pastor said, okay, no problem, 3 days. So we'll come back tomorrow. He said, yes. So when we came tomorrow, we came early, the girl came too. It's as if she was enjoying our shouting. She came early. I and Obianyo started firing. The girl was just looking at us. We are doing that thing when that pastor came. And he came and hold the girl like this. And said, in the name of Jesus, jump out of her. That was the only thing he said. The girl scattered everything and slept off. That thing broke my heart. Say, how can I pray since morning yesterday? And this man, with one word, drive the spirit out. What is the problem? I went to mountain. I went with a wrong ambition, but it helped me. I stayed there for long. We later went to that mountain together. For long, we prayed. So I'll come out in the meeting like this, do hand like this. People, I say, shoot. This is not the work. The thing became the order of the day. So what I'm looking for is, where is meeting now? Where is meeting? And it was working. At a time, I said, let me know if the people are responding to emotion. I'll just close my eyes and target one sister and say, let the fire meet her now. The sister will went down straight. So when I see people do that and they call it power now, I say, hey, this thing is old. It's old as far as me I am concerned. This thing is old. I do it a lot. The first time we meet in public was in meeting now. What's that school? Divine Campus. Yes. And after Elijah ministered that day, it was time for prayer. That was when I showed up. And I do act like this. People went there. Samuel was like, yeah, see this guy, yo. It was working. You were at that meeting. It was working like hand and glove. But bro, we noticed we are doing that thing without life. When God wanted to show us mercy, a sister from EFAC, St. Babes, came and called me an Obianyo. And she asked us one question that if we are not born again, I would have slapped her. Now she said, I heard you guys, she spoke with every form of arrogance. I said, you guys, I heard you guys are now pouring water on people. I said, by the grace of God. She now said, where do you get water that you are pouring? Meaning that she has checked. There is no form of fellowship where life will be built. All we know is anointing. And that sister is trying to help us. She became our enemy. Until one day God showed me this. I called over and said, see this thing back. If you want to continue, continue. Me, I'm done. We started looking for God. We started looking for God. Started by all means, and today we are still searching. So don't think we have gotten somewhere and you confuse yourself. We have not. But it's a job, it's a process. A time will come when we master certain things. And you do some things not because you want to, but because God wants to do it. Amen. You want to pray. Don't be that kind of evangelist that will be burdened with so many revelations. If you appear on Facebook, you have things to say. If you go for meeting, you have things to say. You have many things to share. That's why I tell you, I don't feel I'm superior to you. Because I know if I call you now, you will say something that I've not heard before. Have you not seen an apostle? Sometimes he will bring a rope and say, I preach. And he will be making notes while the rope is preaching. But he's the one that taught him. So nobody is senior, nobody is junior. Yes, we understand grace. And we celebrate. Because you can preach better than an apostle. But the things he has touched, you have not touched it. He can demote you. Don't understand. So you can be claiming that you are speaking Rema, and what's that his name? There's this master's vessel. Somebody should remind me his name. Okokoni. Went for a meeting, one guy was somewhere doing he just stood and said, Lord, don't hear him. These are people that have authority in this place. You might preach better than them. Learn to respect such grace when you see it.
What is it?
Ha! Yes. This boy, don't hear him. and that was the end. He doesn't need to do any other thing. He doesn't need to speak in tongues to say it. He just needs to say it. See this Bible. Don't see it. And there's no explanation. He will not bring any reason why they should not. Because their life, they have poured their life at the altar of God. So even immortals are scared of their language. If they want to speak, they will say, let this guy not speak now. Let him not speak. Because anything he said now, we must know him. That's why anytime Elijah wants to speak, he implicates God. He will come and say, if I be a man of God. Now, what he's saying is that let God prove that he is not a man of God. And God cannot say he is not. So in order to make sure that he is still, he has to kill them to prove. God was not totally in support of those people dying. Remember when the disciples of Jesus suddenly said, look at these people, let's call fire. He said, shut up. Shut up. Do you think we are here to kill people? We are not. We don't kill people. So what we do is that we attack negative altars. If a man has put his life in the altar, when the altar collapses, he collapses with the altar. It's not us that kill him. But he became so attached to his altar. Have you not seen people that are so attached to their children? When one dies like this, they die too. Or paralysis will enter just because. That's how some people are so attached to their altar. Have you not heard a guy that gave his life to a dancer? The way you give your life to Jesus. He carried his life and gave it to a dancer. And trained her in school. And he now went to orientation camp, NYSC orientation camp with flower, to kneel down and propose to the lady, and the lady rejected him. So if you hear the news, just arrange for burial because he will die. He sold his life as a seed to a dancer. You don't do it to human beings. It's only God that you can give your heart to, and you are sure that your heart is free. Let's pray. Ask God to create burden in your spirit. Kings. Verse 23.